A free legendary skin of your choice will be available in the Overwatch 2 Season 3 Battle Pass. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So we have an update from Blizzard as to what they're going to do with some monetization changes going into Season 3 and beyond. They also talk about a little bit about ranked updates, but we've covered that in a previous video. They also talk about the limited time mode, specifically Battle for Olympus, and what they're looking to improve upon. They talk about Ramattra and how he was added to the game, and they also give a little bit of a sneak peek as to what's going to happen with the game going forward. Now, I think the best place to start is with the monetization changes. So let's do this. What is happening is legacy credits are being removed from the game, or in fact converted into Overwatch credits, which Blizzard are bringing back, and these will be earnable in the free track of the Battle Pass going forward. There will also be some in the premium track of the Battle Pass as well. Now, these are the details that Blizzard have given us. But before we get into that, I just kind of want to say it's about time. I've been asking for this for a while. Some sort of a way to earn a skin, whether it's a skin token, earn something which is relevant to the heroes you play, not just here's a skin for Pharah. Well, you're like, gee whiz, I'm a tank player. This is no good to me. You know what I mean? So I'm really all for this, and it's a good change, and I hope they start making more changes like this in the future. But anyway, this is what Blizzard say. In Season 3, we're bringing back Overwatch credits, which had previously shown as legacy credits and been unearnable in Overwatch 2. Now, all players can earn up to 1,500 credits as free rewards and another 500 credits as premium rewards spread throughout the Season 3 Battle Pass. We are also adding more uses for your credits so you can choose from many potential rewards. Now, this bit is crucial and it's wonderful. Specifically, we are making two related updates to our hero gallery. First, nearly all the epic and legendary tier skins prior to Overwatch 2's launch will always be available in the hero gallery for purchase with either Overwatch coins or credits. This includes skins from seasonal event modes, so now you can finally pick up Witch Mercy, Surf and Splash Torbjorn, or Snowman Wrecking Ball any time of the year without waiting for the event to roll around. Second, we're lowering the standard price of these legendary skins to 1,500 coins or credits. So let's just take this on board. If you go through the free track of the Battle Pass, so you pay no money, you will get 1,500 legacy credits, which are now renamed to Overwatch credits. You can use these credits on any of the old Overwatch skins that were in the game before Overwatch 2. Also, you can buy any skin from any event that was in the game before Overwatch 2. Now, this is the majority of the cosmetics, right? So it means you can basically buy yourself a legendary skin for completing the Battle Pass. This is good. I really like this. And of course, you don't need to pay. Yeah, good change. Now, if you do pay, you'll get another 500 credits on top of that. So the Overwatch credits will total 2,000, which I think is, again, pretty decent. But of course, if you buy the premium Battle Pass, you'll also get the other stuff, right? You'll get the other rewards, the skins and whatever. Now, there is one omission from this. There is no mention of the Overwatch coins being earnable in the Battle Pass. So they're going to give you legacy credits, which are now renamed to Overwatch credits, which are usable on everything in the game that isn't added after Overwatch 2's launch, or hasn't been added after Overwatch 2's launch. Like I said, that's a lot of stuff. But as time goes on, this will, in essence, become less valuable. And I think the big counter-argument to this is, why are you not just putting premium Overwatch coins into the Battle Pass? Every other game does this. That's free to play. Look at Fortnite, yada, yada, yada. We've been down this path before. We know they all do it. So this is a bit of a compromise on Blizzard's part. But I still think we need to take the positives away from this. It is still good they've made this change, because they could have just totally ignored this. They could have just decided not to change this. They could have just, carried on as is. Who cares? But I would say the fact that they've made changes kind of does sort of mean that they're probably not seeing as much, I guess the word's profitability from the Battle Pass. And maybe they've equated that with some sort of negative outcry from community, from player bases, and all of that stuff surrounding the game. So they're trying to make these changes. But like I said, we could just look at the negatives all day on this. This is a positive, so this is a good change. Nice one, Blizzard. Taken together, these changes mean all players can earn a legendary skin of their choice each season from the hero gallery skins just for playing normally and without needing to make any purchases. We understand that some players already have large balances of credits. To ensure that all players feel rewarded for the time they spend playing, we're looking into additional ways for players to use credits in the future. Now, I hope this is some sort of a conversion to Overwatch coins, because I've got like, what, 20-odd thousand of these credits, and I know a lot of people that played Overwatch 1 would have a ton of these credits. So basically, we can just fill out our Overwatch 1 collection if we need to now and just buy everything, which is pretty cool, and we don't have to wait for seasonal events to roll around to get certain skins. But what happens when we've got everything? Yes, this is going to be, I don't want to say a small subset of players, because I think it's going to be a pretty large amount of players, to be honest. But what are we going to do with all these extra coins? We just look in the hero gallery and we just see a massive number. We can't do anything with it. Blizzard are going to give us some sort of a way to waste these in the future. If they do go the route of converting into Overwatch coins, I'd expect to see something like 10,000 legacy credits or Overwatch credits equal 1 coin. These changes aren't the end of our journey to make Overwatch 2 a more rewarding game to play. They're just the beginning. We have more updates coming in future seasons, and we'll be reading your feedback to understand what's working and what isn't for all of you. So there you go. Those are the monetization changes coming in Season 3, specifically in the Battle Pass, and this idea of converting the Overwatch Legacy Credits to Overwatch Credits, which can be usable on basically most of the items in the game. Then they go on to talk about limited time events. Now, limited time events in Overwatch, they've always kind of been a thing in the game's history, but they've just been events inside of the seasonal events, which were themselves limited events. But limited time modes, limited time events, I guess we're talking about new events here in Overwatch 2 going forward, so not any of the old stuff that we've had to deal with in the past. So this is specifically on the Battle for Olympus and the way this was received, and the way Blizzard have kind of received it as well. So this is what they say. We set a goal in Overwatch 2 of having more frequent in-game events and unique limited time game modes. As we gather your feedback and look at whether you enjoyed different events, we expect to improve and bring many of them back in the future. Generally, we want to craft different ways to play the game and give you fun new modes and events to experience. And we want to be more willing to take creative risks for these limited time game modes. We debuted the Battle for Olympus during Season 2. We're generally happy about this mode and player feedback around it, but we do think there's room for improvement. Specifically, we did not expect that players would pursue all hero titles during the event. So let's just stop on that. They didn't think players would go after all titles in the event. You know, it's not like they've got years of data showing that players love to collect stuff, and that's why people were like coming back for seasonal events in Overwatch 2 to collect, Overwatch 1, sorry, to collect the new stuff. But they didn't expect people to want to collect it all in Overwatch 2. It's mental. I think this is just a cop-out. This is them sort of saying, yeah, we put 300 final blows as the requirement for all of the titles, which was too much, and we kind of know that, but yeah, whatever. You know, it's like they did it because they want you to play the game more. That's literally it. Remember what I said? This sort of vein of frustration or design frustration or designing through frustration is in the game, and it really annoys me. Anyway, whatever. They go on to say this. We think some challenges were too difficult to complete in aggregate. Based on your feedback, we also plan to make a team deathmatch version and enable the mode in custom games the next time it runs. And we mistakenly did not include environmental kills in our leaderboard tabulations. Now, this is interesting here. So they say some of these events will return in the future and some won't, but they've basically just confirmed here this one will return in the future, which might be a little bit weird because I don't know, like, why would this return? It's a themed event on the Greek mythological battle pass. So if it comes back in the future, why? Are they just going to have like a season which is like an anniversary season of Overwatch where it's just every event that was playable is just playable? I don't know. It's a little bit weird, isn't it? Because I was under the impression this was just an event that we probably wouldn't really see again in the future, but I guess we're going to. We also brought back the Winter Wonderland and Lunar New Year events. Millions of new players have come to Overwatch 2 and been able to experience these events for the first time. However, we've heard and understand the feedback from Overwatch veterans that these events don't feel as exciting when they come back around, particularly if you already own the event reward, as was the case for some players in the Lunar New Year event. We are working to offer rewards that are now for all players more consistently. That are new for all players or consistently. Sorry, English is difficult. Let me read that again. We are working to offer rewards that are new for all players more consistently. In Season 3, one of our new events will offer players an all-new legendary skin, and starting in Season 4, our goal is to offer new items as rewards for most of our big events. So there's a commitment here to say, look, we're not going to do this anymore. Like, the reward for completing all the challenges in an event, in a seasonal event, will be a new skin for everybody most of the time. That's the cop-out, because it might not be all of the time, but at least most of the time. Okay, decent. We like to see it. Now, I think that last paragraph we just went over, it does shine a bit of light on the way Overwatch 2 was designed. It was designed for new players. It wasn't really designed for the existing player base. I think what has happened is Blizzard has probably got a ton of market research which says, oh yeah, there's all these gamers that would play Overwatch if it was free to play. And yeah, they like battle passes, they like this, they like that. So if we make a game that is focused on capturing those players, then we can really grow the player base, really generate a ton of revenue, and everybody will love it. Because you think about it, as a new player coming into Overwatch, well, there's a lot of stuff, isn't there? There's loads of skins, loads of content. You'd be like, wow, there's loads of stuff here. This game is such good value for money. But what I think it's almost a horrific decision, really, in a lot of ways, is they just sort of didn't cater to the existing audience, which is the audience that was ingrained in the game, which is the audience where a lot of, well, content creators come from, a lot of, you know, prominent community figures and all of that stuff. I'm not saying they're the be-all and end-all of the game, but you kind of were just going, look, here's the new game. We're forgetting about everything in the old game. We're trying to attract this big audience for the new game. But now we're sort of realizing, oh, yeah, we need to look after the players we've already got. Now, I know I say this in lots of videos over and over again, but I'm pretty sure the figure was somewhere in the region of 50 million active accounts for Overwatch. Now, that is throughout its lifespan. That's not all at once. It's not in the same month. It's over the years of Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2, I think I've seen 35 million. So they would say there's a 15 million deficit there. Now, my argument would have been, if you brought Overwatch back as Overwatch 2, which I still don't agree with the fact it's called Overwatch 2, but if you brought the game back and it had the content it had now, which is basically just a content patch that comes into the game, and you start building up that trust with the existing player base, then when PvE comes out, that's your big hit to launch the game into the sort of wider audience. I think things would have been a lot different, but they didn't decide to do that, and it'll always perplex me, and I think in years we'll come back and we'll look at the way Overwatch 2 was handled, and there's some strange decisions were made, and I'm pretty sure they were probably backed up by data they got from wherever, because they wouldn't just make these decisions on a whim. They also give a pretty interesting breakdown on Ramattra. So they say this: Ramattra stormed the hero lineup. We watched Ramattra closely when he first released, including community gameplay and conversations. We started asking ourselves some challenging questions about his kit's performance based on your feedback. What was the community's first impressions of his kit? Is his kit approachable? Which abilities and moments are resonating with our community? What are the sore spots? The next set of questions focus more on his viability, how he's performing as players learn how to play him, what compositions is he fitting into, and their early dominant strategies. Answers here help us decide if we want to make any change to the hero within the first 2 weeks before they enter competitive play. Ramattra's initial release was met with a lot of positive feedback in terms of fun factor. We saw a lot of great conversation around his kit and the overall design, but it was clear that you felt Ramattra wasn't viable in enough situations. At this point, there are many different factors that go into making balanced decisions, including player feedback and hero performance. Though this is limited to quick play data, which can differ from competitive, because of course he wasn't available in comp because this was the 2 weeks after he launched. With our learnings, we chose to increase his power while in Nemesis form by upping his armor and speed. Alongside the Nemesis form changes, we also decreased the cooldown on his Void Barrier to create more overall uptime with his abilities. Overall, this set of changes had a large effect on Ramattra's effectiveness, and he entered competitive as one of the stronger tank picks, a big shift from his lower performance leading up to the Season 2 changes. As we wrap Season 2, Ramattra remains a strong tank choice, and the previous changes helped achieve some of Ramattra's overall design goals. Going into his release, though, there was one ability we knew would be a risk, his ultimate, Annihilation. When an ultimate lasting as long as enemies are in it is... while an ultimate lasting as long as enemies in it is very exciting, it can lead to some unhealthy gameplay scenarios. We want Ramattra to feel imposing and intimidating, but not feel hopeless to fight against. In Season 3, we'll be changing the timer on Annihilation so that it will tick down slower if enemies are in it. Previously, it just paused the timer, and adding a cap of the ability of 20 seconds. This should eliminate many of the extreme uses and enable more counterplay while keeping Annihilation strong and impactful ability. So there you go, guys. This, I think, is a pretty good post. We've got good information on monetization changes that are coming in Season 3 and beyond, which I fully support. And I know there's going to be people out there going, oh, yeah, well, we expected this. It starts off terrible, then they start making changes, and everyone starts going, oh, yeah, great job, Blizzard. But the thing is, if we sit here and we just go, we ignore this, or we don't give feedback on this, and we don't comment on it, and all of that stuff, then it doesn't really help anyway. We may as well say, look, you're doing the right thing, Blizzard, keep it going. And if they start doing the wrong thing again, then we let them know. That's basically how this works. So this is good news for them. Like, I can't say this is bad in any kind of way, to be honest. That's decent. The Ramattra stuff is interesting. Obviously, his ultimate is getting nerfed. We've known about that for a while, but now we do have the details of the nerf. The ultimate's only going to last for 20 seconds, and the timer will not pause when it's damaging enemies. It will just slow down, which, again, is a pretty big nerf to that ability. And then we've got the Battle for Olympus sort of breakdown, which, yeah, I think we've covered the Battle for Olympus, and a lot of people have. It wasn't a very good event, to be honest. The problem... Well, I'm not going to go over it, guys. I'm not going to bore you with it. You know the problems with that event, but, yeah, Blizzard gave us their feedback on it. As we continue to move forward and grow, we think it's very important to share long-term plans about game features and updates, but it is possible that some of these things may change as we continue to develop and test these plans while listening to player feedback. Generally, we want to add or improve systems that better celebrate players match to match, as well as across seasons. One angle we've been exploring is revamping our on-fire system to highlight when you're having a particularly impressive performance within a match. And while still in the early stages, we haven't begun design work on a hero-based progression system that would... we have begun design work on a hero-based progression system that would showcase the energy players put into playing each hero and mastering their different capabilities. We know this is an area that you all care about deeply, and we look forward to providing more updates as we continue to work here. Thank you for choosing to blah, 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 blah. So there's some interesting little tidbits there. This idea of a hero-based progression system where you can show off what you've actually managed to achieve on a certain hero. I think that's pretty cool. And the on-fire system is coming back at some point. Now, I don't know why the on-fire system was removed from the game, because even the new heroes have got the audio lines for, well, I'm on fire. Like Kiriko's like, love, I'm on fire. When she's not on fire. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and watching the video. Remember, if you like the video, comment below and all of that good stuff. It really does help. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. And oh, remember, actually, if you've lasted this long, do send your replay codes in. Go to unitlost.com/overanalyzed and submit away. And yeah, there might be some of those videos coming back on the channel in the future. All right, guys, catch you on the next one. See you soon.